Hello, Merlians. Welcome back to today's Nightwing X Villain Listener. And I apologize in advance for all the, this kind of noise. It's because I filmed this on my bed. Because my desk is currently a mess. Anyways, if you have any suggestions for which character I should do next, let me know in the comments below. And I do really want to do Red Hood. So, let me know in the comments. And enjoy. Rain poured down Gotham City, cold with thick winds blowing through your hair. The temperature, absolutely freezing. Today's mission was to team up with Black Mask to get a good deal on weaponry. As you made your way through Gotham, its toxic smell of bad decisions roamed through the air. Then, out of nowhere, you heard gunshots, shouting. You saw Nightwing, Red Hood, Batman, and Robin. They were fighting Black Mask's goons. Now, your deal was completely at jeopardy. Shit, you muttered to yourself, deciding that running away was your best option at this point. But unfortunately, you made direct eye contact with the infamous Nightwing. Once he caught a glimpse of you, he was not going to let you get away, and he yelled something back at Red Hood, saying, "Cover me," as he ran straight towards you, recognizing you as one of the villains. Now, the Black Mask was nowhere in sight, which it did not help your case at all. Bang! The gunshot echoed. Redhead had been aiming for you, but you barely managed to dodge the bullet. As Nightwing chased you, the air grew with high tensions. What? Did we mess up your little plans to meet up with Roman Sionis? You turned around from your running and got that disgusted look on your face, hidden underneath your mask. Was Nightwing trying to strike up a conversation with you? These vigilantes think they're so full of themselves, huh? You snapped straight into action and tried to kick Grayson right in the stomach. But you had missed and ended up aiming for his balls. After realizing what you did, you saw Nightwing fall to the ground, clutching where you had hit. Even though that was a move that you hadn't anticipated for, you decided that was the only shot that you had, and you went for a power punch. But you had missed because Nightwing managed to roll away on the floor. Hitting a concrete wall, your knuckles started to bleed rapidly. This wasn't going well for you. So you made a decision. Get out of there. You ran into the deep mist of Gotham City. Now, Grayson had thought about how you had played dirty. Who had the guts to kick the Nightwing in the balls? You did. And for some reason that intrigued him. When Batman came to check up on him, he blatantly admitted that he had lost against you. But his thoughts were all about the fight. His mind kept racing and racing, even once he had gotten to the Batcave. Alfred walked in, and being the kind butler he was, he offered him a nice, fresh cup of tea, adding extra sugars to hopefully ease Dick's mind a little bit. And as time went on, you two kept running into each other. You decided to get even more dirty with your moves. Moves that shouldn't be done at all. Not even the biggest, baddest villains, Two-Face, Joker, even risked doing those moves. The more you fought, the more you engaged with each other. He started taking this out as fun. The infamous Nightwing, Dick Grayson, he didn't know. He started feeling in a weird, twisted way. You were a villain, a force not to be reckoned with. He had to get justice. But why did it feel so right? Why did every time that he saw you, every time he had an inner turmoil, gutting his chest out, eating it alive, butterflies in his stomach, he didn't know why this game of cat and mouse was getting to him, what he was feeling. Meanwhile, with you, You hated him with your guts. He kept getting in your way and getting involved in your plans. The more he started to get comfortable with you after countless fights of each other, he started asking you dumb questions like, how was your day? What's your favorite color? Which sounded completely idiotic due to the fact that this guy was a vigilante and you were a villain and he shouldn't be asking personal questions like this. In your mind, vigilantes have failed a lot of people, and they only focus on the bigger threats. You were getting frustrated. This endless week of torture was starting to get to you. Maybe it was all the fighting, but you didn't know. But at the same time, maybe you wanted to catch his attention. Maybe you started doing these little petty crimes because you wanted it. Maybe it felt nice to be noticed. You were not exactly the most knowable villain compared to everybody else. Maybe it was out of pure boredom. Maybe it was just getting to your head. But it felt good in a weirdly twisted way that he cared about you. Cared enough to fight with you. Cared enough to ask questions. No. You couldn't. But you did. These thoughts kept you up all night, eating you alive, consuming you completely. You couldn't go to bed. You changed your sheets, you changed your pajamas, you changed your position on your bed, you changed the pillows, you tried everything. But you couldn't. You grabbed your jacket and your villain suit and headed out into the night. It was dark and foggy and it smelled like Scarecrow's fear toxin. The polluted air was unchanged. You decided to do a robbery because, well, you needed the money. But at the same time, was this another petty crime to catch his attention? As you made your way to your choice of the bank, you sat on a rooftop, thinking of how to put this plan together. When all of a sudden, you heard a crack, then another. Then the building started shaking. Shit. The building was collapsing. Before you knew it, somebody grabbed you and tossed you onto the next rooftop. You had hit one of the walls. That hurt. You looked up and saw the building was falling apart, turning to dust and rubbled stone. Had anyone else been in that building? No, you were a villain. You couldn't think like that. But was there? You were questioning your own authority and you saw Nightwing walk up. Who the hell do you think you are? Walking up to me like this? You said in your mind. But then you had this sharp pain inside of you switch up. You didn't know why it happened, but it did. You didn't need to save me, asshole. I knew what I was doing. I could have gotten out. He cut you off. The building was collapsing. You were going to get hurt. I wasn't just going to leave you there. Since when do pathetic vigilantes care about villains like me? Shouldn't you be handling, I don't know, Penguin or something? Someone actually worth your time? Because this game of cat and mouse is really getting to me. Just because you're a villain doesn't mean I don't care. Look, at first, yeah, I wanted to arrest you. But you seem like a good person. I want to get to know you as a friend. Or maybe more. Those words shocked everything in you. The small flickering of hope that he had come to the robbery and tried to stop you died instantly, like someone had just poured gallons of water on a tiny spark of a flame. I'm not your friend, you snapped. You're crazy to even think that I would consider an option as inconsiderate as that. I can handle myself. I don't need a guy dressed up in some tight suit trying to capture his good features. You angrily walked away, feeling enraged at the situation. Wait, he called out. You didn't want to turn back. You couldn't. But you didn't turn around. You just stopped. Listen, I could arrest you right here, right now. Look, I get what I said might have been a little not realistic, but look, give me one chance. That's all I ask for. You'll never see me again. I won't try to arrest you. I won't try to threaten you. You won't have to see me again. Maybe the occasion run in, but just one chance. You weren't looking at him directly, but in theory, the deal sounded good. Just pretend you didn't like him and get rid of him for good. Just this one chance. You turned around. Fine, I'll do it. But don't even think about planning anything weird. The following day, you both had decided to keep your civilian identities safe and keep the villain and the vigilante suits on. You sighed. This actually looked nice on top of a rooftop. Candles placed so elegantly. Snacks. Everything felt right. Felt good. As you took a bite of one of the pastries as you sat down, your mask started to slip off without even being asked. Nightwing had fixed it and repositioned it. He seemed hesitant before doing so. You wondered who he was under the mask. You wondered. You know, the night's starting to come to an end. I assume you never want to see me again, so I'll just start going and cleaning this up. What? You had just gotten here, no? You hadn't even realized the time flashed before you knew it. You ripped off your mask in a panic and looked at him. Really looked at him. But I do. Those 3 words broke him. What? I want to see you again. This was really nice. The nicest thing anyone's ever done for me. But you have to promise to check on, I don't know, smaller crimes that might seem unimportant. But they are. They really are. He pulled you into a hug. A moment of pure silence and dedication. You eventually opened up your backstory on how things were hard for you and no one had come to save you, and how the system had failed you. Then you slowly got out of bed, a headache from the previous night. You placed on your slippers, or your socks, or whatever you want to use, or have. You walked out of the shared bedroom that you and Dick Grayson had shared. The smell of soft, fluffy pancakes filled the air as your boyfriend was flipping them like he was training for an Olympic cooking show. You slowly set up the table for the both of you. It felt nice, really nice. You knew each other's identities, you knew the connections between the Bat family, and you decided to change your ways for good. For the better, at least. You were getting a new suit soon, too. Becoming a vigilante of hope. Finally understanding the system from his side, and not just yours. You two were going to go on a mission after breakfast. Of course, you were going to check in the Bat Cave and all that jazz. But it was called Mission Takedown. You had no idea what messy situation you were about to get yourself into. A twisted galactic turn that could make or break this entire relationship. Thank you so much for watching, my darlings. I know it's been a while since I've recorded. So yeah, hopefully I can do Red Hood next. And if you have any other suggestions or fandoms that you want me to do, let me know in the comments below. My life has just been really busy and I haven't been able to post as much as I wanted. But I hope me liking or replying to your comments has shown that I'm still here. And I know there's a lot of video ideas that I've wanted to do or haven't done yet. So please remind me of those because I know there's a lot of them out there. Thank you so much. I love you and I hope you have a beautiful day or night, whichever one it is for you. And bye-bye. Until next time.